There's a new ICT strategy that gave me a 77% win rate. It's absolutely insane, and the best part is nobody's talking about it. In this video, I'm going to go through a whole month's backtest with you and show you how I got a 77% win rate, all while showing you how to implement this completely mechanical trading system. Now, I want to start by saying that even though this month's data gave me 77% win rate, no strategy can maintain a 80% win rate and above for a long period of time. It's just not how trading works. The impressive thing though is that throughout 2023, I got an average of 60% win rate when I was backtesting the strategy. And it's not just me getting these kinds of results. All of the people within the community where the strategy is from, Evolution Markets, which I will link down below, are getting similar results to this. So let me show you exactly how it's possible and how the strategy works in the backtest. Right guys, so the easiest way for you to get this is just to see what I'm doing. So essentially, I use two different time frames, the 50-minute and the 4-hour. So we're going to start on the 4-hour. We're going to analyze the market direction. So essentially, you can see that there was a pullback here and we took out this high here. And so this is a trading range that we're looking at currently. All right. We then took out this trading range here, which would then create a range right here. All right. We then took out this trading range right here, which then creates this trading range here. We then took it out once again here, which would then cause a trading range right over here. All right. And so as you can see, we've now had 1, 2 breaks to the downside. And for me, that is enough to confirm that we are bearish. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm only looking for sell trades. So now that we know our bias, by the way, it really is that simple. Just 2 breaks to the downside and my bias is confirmed. So I only trade between 10 and 12 South Africa time, or 8 and 10 UK time. And you'll see it's marked out here on the charts by my kill zone indicator. As you can see here, there was a news release and there was a big push up here. This news is not, it's a red folder news that I will not trade. All right, so for me, I'm not looking to take this, especially after this massive push here. When it looks like you're catching a falling knife, obviously this is a knife going up, but that's not a trade that I'm willing to take. But essentially what I'm looking for here on the 15-minute is a liquidity sweep. Okay, so we're here in the New York session. So we had no liquidity sweep. We would have needed price to do this and then go down. There was a liquidity sweep. Well, there wasn't actually much of a liquidity sweep here. And even if there was, I'm only looking for sell trades. All right, so no trade in either London or New York for this day. So let's go on to the next session. Let's continue to the next session. So there is some news, but it's not heavy news. So I am cool to trade through it. Also, when was this? 10 o'clock. Okay. So as you can see here, we have had a sweep of liquidity to the upside. Okay. So we swept this liquidity here, which as you can see is really well-defined liquidity. Okay. And we have bearish order flow. And for me, that ticks all of my boxes. Now, my bearish order flow is determined by the following. We had a bullish range up here, okay, like so. I'll mark that out with the blue. And then we took that out. We then retraced once again here. Okay, and this was my next range. Okay, so we took that out. We created this bearish, a new bearish range right here. Okay, so we took out the low here, created a new range. We then took out this low once again here. It's a new bearish range right here. Okay, and then you can also say that we had another bearish range right here. All right, and so as you can see, we've created 1, 2, 3 bearish ranges, which for me continues that, it tells me that the 15-minute is bearish and the 4-hour is bearish. All right, so that's essentially all I look for to take a trade. I look for a sweep that happens within kill zone. We are just before kill zone right now. All right. So we then get this candle, which is 15 minutes before kill zone. It is a sweep and a retrace. And so for me, the session would be about to start or 15 minutes before starting. And for me, that is still valid. I can trade 15 minutes before the session opens, and then 15 minutes afterwards as well. Sometimes half an hour afterwards. So I'm using a 12 pip stop. I either use 12, 14, 16, 18, and sometimes 20 pip stop losses. So I always go for a 1 to 3 risk to reward that is completely set. I do not manage the position at all. I simply set and forget. So this will be a stop limit set at this level. And there you go. The news seemed to have pushed it quite a lot. And then we hit take profit. This news event is a news event that I would trade through. It's red folder, but it is not extremely high impact in my opinion. Things like PPI, CPI, FOMC, those kinds of things are definitely events that I would give a skip. So let's go on to the next session. So the next day, next session, again, we're still bearish on this because we are still in a bearish, we've had two bearish ranges on the 4 hour. Currently, at the start of this session, we had this take a liquidity sweep right here and create this bearish range. So still bearish. We had a sweep here of this high, but even if this is a bearish candle, we would need a bearish candle to signify that we're potentially going bearish. Okay, we have one here. I would not be looking, let's just see, this is more than 20 pips. So for me, it's not something I would look to trade. It's just too much risk on the table. I'm not willing to do more than 20 pips because then obviously my target is going to be way too far away. So let's go on to the next session, which will be down here. Okay. Whoops. So as you can see, we're starting to switch bullish. We've had price take out the high here, so that would create a new bullish range right here. And there's another bullish range right here, and I just missed this here as well. So 1, 2, 3, we are now bullish. We then took this high out right here, creating another bullish range. So I would not be looking for any trades as we are currently only looking for bearish trades. As we can see here, this would be our range on the 4 hour. So I'll extend that so we can just keep track of that. So we're continuing bullish, so no trades. We need to have bearish order flow to consider trades. We just took out these highs on the 4 hour. Let's have a look on the 4 hour. You can see we just took out the highs. This could just be a liquidity sweep to come lower, and that's why I need to see 2 breaks to the upside to confirm bullish. So for now we are still bearish. So let's go on to the next day. As you can see, we're continuing bullish here. Let's go on to the next day. So our higher time frame is still bearish, but I need to see bearish order flow. Now, as you can see, this was our most recent range, and it's a bullish range. So I would need to see this break and then see another range break that once again. And then we can start to think about trades. You can see price took out the range here, and so we've now had the first sign that potentially we might be bearish. I'm going to use this as my high. And second one now. So we are now bearish, okay? So what I would need to see is for price to sweep the highs here and then continue lower. So I would need to see these highs here get taken out, all right? And we just continue to drop, all right? So that's okay. This previous winning trade, I'm going to mark on the chart with a green line, all right? And then let's go on to the next day, all right? So as we can see, we continued that bearish momentum. We have a range right here, bearish range here. Okay, so we're still bearish, and so now we can potentially look for trades. Let's just see what's happened here. Okay, so I would need to see this high go to potentially get into a trade. Let's see what happens. This here would also be potentially valid. Okay, so we took that out. So now I'm looking for a bearish candle. We took out the other highs as well. Okay, no bearish candle yet. None yet. None yet. None yet. Okay, so there's a bearish candle there. It needs to tag me in on the next candle, most likely, because I don't want to be too much out of session. So we'll give it 2 more candles after the session. That's generally what I do. I'll give it a 10 pip stop loss, like so. All right. And then we're looking for a 3-to-1 risk reward. Okay. Okay, so no tag in on that candle. All right, so no trade there. All right, let's continue to the next trading session. Whoops. Okay, so as you can see, there's a news release. We've got NFP, so we obviously won't be trading that, but just as a lesson, you can see here what happened just before. We had a sweep of liquidity, all right, and we are still bearish, okay? We're still bearish in momentum. And look what happened. So if I had placed my limit here, if I placed my sell stop here, what would have happened at news release? Boom. So yeah, I would never trade that, but it just shows that the theory still works even through news. So yeah, so that day is a bit of a write-off. We would have to see that high get taken. So let's continue on to the next trading day. All right. So currently we're still bearish. Let me just mark that out for you. So you can see we took out this low here. Okay, we then retraced here and then came down lower. Okay, so for me, we're still bearish. There is this inside of here as well, if you want to be very particular. We then continue. It takes out the high, but that was just a liquidity sweep. We then continue lower here. Oops. So yeah, we're still bearish from up here already. We had one bullish range up here, and so now we're still looking for sell trades. I would be looking for a sweep of this liquidity here to get potentially short. Right, so here you can see we came down here, came up, and then came down again. So for me, there is some liquidity above here. We also took this out as well. So potentially there could be a trade in here. So I'm going to place my sell stop right here, and I'm going to give it a 12 pip stop loss. All right, just like so. And we're looking for a 3-to-1. Okay, so you get tagged in the next candle. Okay, there's also potentially another trade in here, but I will not scale into this because having two trades on in the same direction is kind of stupid. You're just doubling up your risk, but you can see here we took out this high here, had the retrace candle just before, so you could have put my stop in there, my sell stop in there as well. All right, so that trade hit take profit here. Let's continue on to the next trading day real quick. Right, so as we can see here, we had this bearish range right here. We then had price break right here. Okay. We then had price take out this high and then have a little retracement here. So we've had one bullish range right here. Okay. Had one bullish range. You can even move it down to here. Let's say it's a bit more defined. We then retrace a little bit over here. And then we've got this range right here. So right now we're bullish. You can also see if we were still bearish, you can see we took out this high here. Again though, this is an external high, which is nice, but we've had price really push like crazy. So again, you're catching kind of like a falling knife here. Also, we've had this retracement and then this candle here, all right? So within session, yeah, we're not really within session in this one either. So not really a trade I would look to take. I'm also, once again, bullish. Now, before I continue any further, it's important to note one thing, and that's that a strategy cannot maintain a 77 and above % win rate for an extended period of time. There is no strategy like that. However, the impressive thing to note is that this strategy gave me a 60% win rate for 2023 in my backtesting data, and that's with a 1-to-3 risk-reward ratio. But it's not just me who's getting results like this, it's all of the people within the Evolution Markets community who are trading the exact same system. They've documented all of their backtesting notes themselves within the community, and they're also getting similar win rates for 2023 and the beginning of 2024. And so if you want to learn the full system, and so if you want to learn everything in depth, there is a link down below where you can learn from the Evolution Markets team who designed the strategy. I'm also a part of the community and you can ask questions within there. However, you can still watch this video and get a ton of free knowledge. And I recommend you watch right to the end because you'll be able to see step by step how I get in and out of trades many times with the exact same entry criteria. So let's continue with the backtest. Bullish over here. So we've had this bullish range taken out right here. And we've had another range put in. Okay. So we had a sweep here, but it was outside of session. Once again, another big sweep here, but quite a lot before session. All right. So not something I'm looking to trade. Also with a big momentum push, just like with this one. So not something particularly great, and once again about 45 minutes before session. So let's go on to the next day at 9 o'clock. All right, so as you can see, we're clearly bullish here. So we've had a bullish range here. I'll mark it on with the blue box. We had another bullish range right here, another bullish range right here, another bullish range right here, and another bullish range right here. So essentially we're bullish, but our 4 hours bearish, so there are no valid trades right now. We have, however, had this here. So this is a bit of a retracement here. But I will wait for this low to get taken out right here. Okay, so we've taken out the high. All right, but still bullish in my opinion. All right, not just in my opinion, but order flow is bullish. We've got one range, two range, and even if this did break a range, it's only one range break. All right, so let's continue on to the next session. Okay, so again, we had a sweep here, but what happened here? Bullish. So we're still bullish because we've had 1, 2, 3 bullish ranges, one bearish range potentially here, then another bullish range. So still, if we only have one bearish range here, that is not enough to switch me to a bearish bias. I need 2 in a row. All right. Plus we've had what looks like FOMC right there. So there would have been no trades there. Let's go on to the next day. Alrighty, so halfway through the month, let's see, are we bullish or bearish? So we've had, with this big news event here, we've had one range here, which would just be this candle here. Took out both sides basically. We then took out the low of that. Okay, we took out the low of that right here. We then took out the low of that right here. Okay, and then we're still within this range here where we took out that low as well. All right, which would be here. Okay. So the session's opening, I would need, you know, either this here or this here to get swept. Okay, so we're continuing upward. And there you go, we swept that. No bearish retracement candle just yet. Nope. All right, so that is our retracement candle. We took out this liquidity here. We have bearish order flow and we're bearish on the 4 hour. So I'm going to set my sell stop limit right below. And for this, I'm either going to go with, so probably like a 14 pip stop, just to give it some room. And then we're going to aim for 1 to 3 risk reward. Okay. Okay, so we continue higher. And so what that means is that I'm going to follow this higher. And for this, we're only going to need a 10 pip stop. Give it a bit of room there. Okay, so we're continuing higher there. Continuing higher once again. So for that, once again, I'm going to need to have this move with it. Our session is about to end though, so I would need it to tag in on the next candle, which it does. So we tagged in on the very next candle. Don't necessarily like this because they could come back for this for liquidity, but let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens. We're looking for a 1 to 3, and we've got a 10 pip stop loss. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, there you go. There was news here, retail sales, which is not biggie, and also we were right near here, so I would have just put on a break even, maybe with a bit of a gap here, and that's how I would have rocked it. We're still bearish here. I would need to see a sweep of liquidity, which would be this right here, for me to consider sells. We don't get that. Let's go on to the next day. Okay, so we open up on the next day. Once again, we are bullish by the looks of things. This is our last bearish range, say up here. We took that high out. We then have bullish range right here. We then have another bullish range right here and another bullish range right here. We then take out the low. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's a range right here. And that's just one range. So we're still bullish. Okay, still bullish. So we got another bullish range here. No, sorry, it's the same range. That's extended. We've just taken out this range right here. Right. So let's see if we switch bearish. We've just taken out that low. So that's one low taken out. We've got a retracement. Okay, so now we've switched bearish once again. Got two lows put in, so two bearish ranges. I would need to see this high get taken out for valid liquidity, but there's not enough time in the session. Right, so we're here, the next session. Okay, so as you can see, we've had price continue lower. There's a bearish range. We've also had a bearish range here, which just continues to down here. So essentially, I'd be looking for a sweep of this up here. I would not count this down here as a sweep over here because the low was not taken out. So as you can see, I would need this here to take out the low, and then that would make this a valid liquidity zone. But there is no valid move here to make this a valid liquidity zone. So for me, that's no trade. This we came down, but we didn't take out the low, so not strong enough for me. We then took this out, okay, which now is a valid liquidity sweep. We then have our retracement candle, but I cannot take this trade. The stop is more than 20 pips, so that is a no-go for me. Let's go on to the next trading session. We continue the bearish momentum. This was the last bearish range. I would need to see this high get taken out for a potential entry. Okay, we took it out quite aggressively. And then we had the retracement, all right? This is valid liquidity for me. So I'm going to place my limit, my sell stop just below, and I'll give it a 12 pip stop, just like that. All right, one thing I don't like, once again, and you'll notice this is a kind of theme, but when I see these massive candles and then a retracement, I'm not particularly happy about it. So, I mean, this is valid, so I'll take it. Hopefully it just continues in any case. But yeah, if it tags me in, yeah, I don't know how optimistic I am about it. Okay, so we did get tagged in. Let's see if we hit target. No, we don't hit target. We have this massive candle here. So this here is a losing trade. I'll mark it with a red line. All right. So there's our first losing trade. Let's go on to the next trading session real quick. So I'm trying to get on with these as quickly as I can. So we're still going to continue on a lot here. So obviously that was a weekend gap there. You can see the gap. Okay, so where do we stand right now? So we had this bullish range right here. Okay, we then took out the bullish range. We then got a bearish range right here. Okay. Okay, so I need this to get taken out so that I can confirm my bearish range. Okay, so we do take it out. We've got our bearish range right here. I would then need, in order for me to have a sweep, I would need that to be taken out. This potentially over here could also serve as some liquidity right here. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we sweep. Do we sweep both? Let me just check here. Nope. Okay, so we sweep that. I'm gonna take a trade on this, just because this is a nice little pullback here. We've got our bearish order flow. So for me, it is a valid trade. Place a 10 pip stop. Just this liquidity here, not really defined for me. So yeah, I think I want the top. I want this to go, honestly. Let's see if it does go. Likely here with a little bit of space, I wouldn't have been tagged in anyways. We do get it to go, and it's a retracement candle. So yeah, let's see if in the next 2 candles I get tagged in on this particular trade. I'm gonna give it a bit more of this one was fine with a 12 pip stop, or maybe make it 16 just to cover this high as well. If you are close to, for example, another high like this, I always recommend trying to cover it. Okay, so we get tagged in on this. Okay, so there was a news release on the next day. Let's see if we get to target. Okay, we come all the way up, and I don't go break even on trades. Okay, and then we hit take profit. So this would have been a bit of a nail biter. But yeah, we eventually hit take profit. And that's the nice thing about this strategy. You don't have to sit on the chart and watch it. You just set and forget your order. If you were sitting and watching this, you would have chewed all of your fingernails off. So yeah, let's go on to the next trading day. Um, 9 o'clock. Okay, so what has price done? So we've had price take out the lows right here. All right, where were we previous to this? All right, so my camera just died. This is a very long video, so let's continue on with the process. So you can see we've had bearish range, and then we've had the high get taken out right here. So we just need to analyze this, because these ranges that are very messy can sometimes be quite tricky to analyze. We then had the low taken out again. We then had the high taken out. So let's make this red. We then had the high taken out once again. So yeah, this is generally a very simple system, but when price is messy like this, it can be difficult. Then we bearish again. We then take out the high once again over here. So overall we are still bearish, but we are bullish. I mean, we are bearish as well on the on the 15-minute. So let's see what happens within this trading session. What's happened here? So just before session, we had the price literally sweep this here and print a retracement candle. I didn't spot this now, but I'm only spotting it now. We literally had this taken out and then retracement candle straight away. Our price is above the order price right now, so I'm going to place a sell stop just at the bottom here with our stop just above. 12 pip stop will suffice. I'm also going to then target I'm going to target a 1 to 3 like always, and we just set and forget. So let's see what happens here. Tagged in, very nice start there. Once again, we take out a little bit of liquidity here, but not very defined. Okay, and there you go. So yeah, this again is another example of why I just set and forget. Sometimes price will come right back up to that area and then drop once again. So let's go on to the next day, 23rd. So we're in New York. Whoops, not in New York, we're waiting for London. Okay, so here's our most recent bearish range. Okay, we're still fully within this range, all right? So still bearish, looking for a sweep of liquidity. We've had this little pullback here, so potentially we could see a trade above this. Okay, so we don't get anything there. Once again, our bearish momentum continues. Okay, so what's happened here? We've just had a sweep, but yeah, it's very far before session. Here we have a sweep 15 minutes before session. Do we get a retrace candle on open? No, but we've had the sweep. So I'm just going to wait for a retracement candle, which there is now. I'm then going to place the order just below. And I'm going to use a 10 pip stop because we've got nothing to the left that I need to cover. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so triggered in very aggressively on that. All right. We hit take profit. So we got another winner there. Let's just mark these all out. All right, so let's continue on to the next trading day. So we had 2 winners in a row there, 2 winning days in a row. My light just died. Right, so we're on to the next day. We had one bullish break, but then we had a bearish break straight afterward down here. You can mark this out here. So we're still bearish, continuing down, and no opportunities there. So as you can see, our bearish order flow is continuing. Okay, so there's a session. We had price basically take out the low here. So we're still within this. We then had price take out the low here. And then we had a liquidity sweep right here and a bearish retracement. So let's see if this one works out for us. I'm going to put the stop just above. 10 pips. Let's do 12 just to be safe. Just to cover these other highs here. And then go for a 1 to 3. Okay, so we tagged in there. And tagged out. So there we've got another loser. And let's continue on to the next trading session. Nearing the end of this month now. Whoops, missed this, but we are now in a bullish order flow. As you can see, bullish range here. And yet another giant bullish range here. All right. So we're still within that really big bullish range. Okay, we take out the top. So we are now within this bullish range right here. Still bullish, so none of my trades are valid. If we hop back onto the 4 hours, sometimes you can get lost on the lower time frames, but essentially we are currently trading within this massive range here. All right, this all in between here is not enough for a pullback, in my opinion. So still within this range, all right. So essentially looking for bearish trades. As you can see here, we swept the highs here, but like previously, you can see that price didn't take out the low. It just did this, and that isn't a liquidity sweep. I would need price to do that and then do that for a liquidity sweep, all right? But you can see it did go down, and obviously we're still bearish. So even if there was a liquidity sweep, this bullish order flow wouldn't have invalidated it. Okay, come all the way up here. This here is one, I would say, it's basically just one large bearish range here. We then come up, take it out with this bullish range here. So still bullish, continuing bullish, continuing bullish, just like that. And that's the month complete. So you can see we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just make sure we got everything here. There was this trade as well right here that I didn't mark out. See, that was a winner there. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners and 2 losses. So if we get out the calculator, we then have 7 divided by 9 and then times 100. So we got 77.7 win rate on this particular month. Now, as I said before, that's not sustainable long term. It really isn't. But with the entire year of 2023, we had a consistent 60% average win rate for the strategy, and that continues on into 2024 as well. And it's not just me, like I said, it's the whole community that has backtested this and had similar results. All of them have around a 60% win rate, which is absolutely amazing. If you want to join it and join me in the community and ask questions with me and the other coaches within Evolution Markets, make sure to click the link below and join so that you can go through the full course. Otherwise, stay tuned to my YouTube channel for more content around the power of two and ICT trading. And if you really enjoyed this backtesting strategy video, make sure to click over here to watch another video where I will show you exactly how I backtest my strategies and go very into depth on how you can collect data and become confident in trading whatever the strategy is that you trade. Cheers everybody, I will see you in the next video.